In this video, we will be talking about the socio-economic lens in literary theory. Social and economic factors. The main purpose of this lens is to explore how different demographics are represented in text. One must analyze the social effects of the text in order to understand this lens. A socioeconomic lens starts with a conflict between upper and lower classes. As this tension builds, the lower working class becomes irritated and start a revolution. This lens ends with the lower class overthrowing the government or person of power and imposing equal society like socialism. An example of this is in the novel The Hunger Games. You can see a huge barrier between the different districts. The upper class is symbolic of District 1 and 2 and the capital because they enjoy a wealthier lifestyle. However, as you go farther down the districts, the middle and lower classes are represented. The lower classes eventually defy the upper class and demand equal rights through the protests of the Hunger Games, eventually destroying the elitist system in the novel. A subset of the socioeconomic lens is Marxist literary theory, which is defined by these characteristics. Marxist theory focuses on the economy and how social classes shape it. Marx believed that the economic systems took money from an exploited populace and distributed it among an elite subset of the population. This influenced his economic beliefs, which we now know as socialism, and fostered a type of literary criticism we use in tandem with the socioeconomic lens. Viewing novels from an economic and social standpoint, the lens places literary study in the context of larger social questions, forcing us to consider the influences of our economy and other economic systems have had on the way we interact and what we believe. In the novel The Heart of Darkness, Conrad explores racism in the 19th century colonialism and how greed and power have corrupted humanity. Within the novel, readers can clearly recognize the drastic differences between the social classes through the colonizers' attitude towards the treatment of the native people, who are forced to do extremely taxing physical labor and are rewarded with scant food, disease, and death. Marlowe's experiences in the Pelagian Congo bring to light the evils of colonialism and force us to question humanity's greed and misdirected motives that have caused harm to others, criticizing the system and how the capitalist economy can bring the downfall of humanity. In the novel Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte challenges the British social aristocracy of the 1800s. On the surface, the novel seems like a romance that explores the Victorian dilemma of an intelligent young woman's right to love and to be loved, yet retain her independent spirit. Once that basic surface is scratched, we notice that as the protagonist, she strives for economic and personal independence and touches on the issues of social class hierarchies, economic structures, and gender roles that affected Britain at large. From her birth, Miss Eyre gained social position and economic stability of a lady and as a heiress, respectively. She moves between economic classes and drifts among the lower, middle, and upper classes of Victorian England. Through her story, she is able to hint at legal, social, and economic issues which haunted the era. Here are more of the more important questions to ask when using this lens. One would be, how does the social class affect people's lives and thought? Another important one is, does the work challenge or affirm the social order it describes? And what is the actual social class of the author writing the novel? Our works cited page. And that's all. Thanks for listening.